Baltimore developer Ronald Lipscomb was headed to court yesterday to face bribery charges in a City Hall corruption case. Instead, he pled guilty to one count of violating campaign finance laws. Lipscomb paid $12,500 for a political poll for Councilwoman Helen Holton. Prosecutors said it was in exchange for tax breaks on some of his development projects. But prosecutors dropped those charges in exchange for the plea, which requires Lipscomb to now cooperate in other corruption cases, including one against Mayor Sheila Dixon. Attorney Steve Allen joins us with more on these latest developments. Good morning.
Good morning, Patrice.
All right, so why would the prosecution drop the much more serious bribery charges in exchange for this plea deal that lets him say, I violated campaign finance laws, that's the end of it?
Because they couldn't prove their case. This can be construed as nothing but a defeat for the state prosecutor's office. They went in with grand ambitions, and they walked out of the back door having had seen their case fizzle out. And that's really how this should be understood.
So what does that mean now for some of these other cases that he is going to be required to cooperate with? Let's talk about the Helen Holton case first, because that's the one he went to court yesterday for. The charges against her were dropped as is, but the prosecutors say they're appealing that. They may want to bring those charges against her again. Will that happen, and will Lipscomb have to testify against her?
Well, theoretically, Lipscomb could come up to the plate and say that I made the contribution based on agreement with Councilwoman Holton that she would do something for me. That would do an end around the court's ruling, which would prevent or alleviate the state from having to introduce the evidence of the vote. That's unlikely. What this plea really signals is that they're going to re-indict the mayor. Hopefully, the state prosecutor, hopefully from his perspective, will get Mr. Lipscomb to testify about the gifts that he gave the mayor and possibly that there was some understanding associated with the gifts. And the state prosecutor will now try to rebring the charges against the mayor that were dismissed.
Those are the perjury charges, because she's
right.
still facing the theft charges, but the perjury charges they may re-indict, and you're saying that Lipscomb could say, yes, I gave her these gifts, and it wasn't just because we were in a relationship, there was more to it.
Well, that's what the state prosecutor is hoping. Now, who knows, of course, what Lipscomb is going to say and how much he's really going to help the state prosecutor. One has to assume that if the state prosecutor is doing his job the way he should be doing it, that they had a meeting on Thursday or Friday of last week with Lipscomb and found out what Lipscomb would tell them, and then went ahead and made the deal. Now, whether the state prosecutor did that or not, who knows? There's been real questions about the quality of this investigation and the quality of the legal work in it.
All right. Still so much more should go in this case. Steve, thank you so much for coming in.
My pleasure.
Well, coming up next, scraping up digital dirt, how social networking sites could hurt you in court.